Philip Kiszely from the New Culture Forum. As I said earlier, Philip, you know, make no mistake. I mean, it's an extraordinary situation that the Reform UK tail is wagging the government's dog, the Labour dog. We have Nigel Farage's got 5 MPs. It's him and 4 others. 5 MPs. Starmer's got about 450, 250 majority, something like that. And he's terrified. He's terrified of Farage. So Farage, as we know, a couple of days ago, had this sort of press conference and speech in which he said he offered huge tax breaks to the whole country, really, especially to young couples who are getting married, to encourage them to have kids. Also, minimum tax, £20,000 to raise it to that, and of course restore completely the winter fuel allowance. Now, ever since then, both Labour and Tories have been screaming at him, how are you going to pay for this? You're like Liz Truss. You're going to put us into an economic meltdown, just like Liz did. Well, his whole speech explained where he was going to find the money. He's going to stop pouring billions of pounds down the green diversity drain. It is estimated that if, as they plan, Reform UK completely axes net zero, no more of any of it, like Donald Trump did in America, that at a stroke will save this country £40 billion. Also, if you get rid of every single DEI initiative, DEI, you know, for example, 40 million quid wasted in the NHS on 800 DEI officers, get rid of that. Getting rid of DEI, they estimate, could save 20 to 30 billion pounds. Now, there you go. That's about 60, 70 billion pounds. And the more he says that, they act like he hasn't said it, because they got no answer to that. We're saying to Keir Starmer, and indeed the Tories, why are you ruining the economy on the altar of this net zero lunacy? Why are you ruining the economy on the altar of that madman Ed Miliband? Why all this DEI? And they won't listen. They are more interested in signalling their virtue about saving the planet and being kind than the practical realities of running this country properly. And they're running us into the ground.
They are, and it was so great to just hear him slaughter all of those sacred cows, one after another. Net zero, migrant hotels, quangos. You know, this is one of the major things, isn't it? We still have that kind of legacy of Tony Blair, all of these quangos, which are completely dominated by these people, and they waste so much money. The really important thing at the moment, I think, is that we just have a reform agenda. They are dominating politics, everything. Starmer is only talking about mass immigration because it's the reform, you know, it's the major reform policy. And so now he's having to do U-turns on all of his tax impositions. He's doing a U-turn on the winter fuel allowance because of Farage. Because of Farage, and I can't in my adult life, I can't remember a time when it was like this. Certainly not with a tiny party with five MPs. It's just extraordinary.
It really is.
So I think, I mean, all we have to do now is look at Nigel, look at reform, look at what they are talking about, and then we will know precisely what the big issues are going to be in a few years' time.
Yeah, and in a little while we'll play you a little footage. Even The Guardian, you know, Labour's house magazine, its house newspaper, even The Guardian is rounding on Starmer. We'll play you that in a little while. But here's a couple of edited lowlights of Starmer's speech today. First off, this is him on what he called Farage's mad splurge.
He set out economic plans that contained billions upon billions of completely unfunded spending. Precisely the sort of irresponsible splurge that sent your mortgage cost, your bills, and the cost of living through the roof. It's Liz Truss all over again. Now, in opposition, we said that she would crash the economy and leave you to pick up the bill. And we were right. And we were elected to fix that mess. Now, in government, we're once again fighting the same fantasy.
Oh, shut up. No, this is rubbish, isn't it? Yeah, how's he going to pay for it? This is a splurge. He keeps telling you how he's going to pay for it. We know how he's going to pay for it. You talk about him wasting money, the irresponsibility of his, what you call fantasy policies, Starmer. Well, here's the irresponsible way you waste money on all of Ed Miliband's absolutely gormless green claptrap and on diversity all over the shop. You are the one who are irresponsible with our money. Nigel Farage says, well, what I'm going to do is I'll save money on all of that. And you can't help noticing that neither Labour nor Tories will address this issue and that issue is the amount of money they spend on net zero and diversity. They can't talk about that because it makes them look quite deservedly horrific. This is Farage explaining, Philip, on how he will pay for his promises.
Are you going to tell us how you paid for these measures that you've announced today, or have you got a magic money tree growing in your back garden?
All right, you started it. The cost of net zero to the taxpayer, figures produced by the Institute of Government, are estimated between 2025 and 2030 to cost £45 billion every single year. The cost of asylum seeker accommodation, be it hotels or be it houses of multiple occupancy, as I mentioned earlier, £4 billion every year. That may be a slightly low estimate because actually the overall costs of illegal immigration are much higher. DEI, as researched by Defunding Political Campaigns, estimated to cost government £7 billion every year. Quangos, just a 5% cut. And by the way, do you remember in the general election we suggested a 5% cut? I mean, you thought, what dreadful people we were.
So, isn't it... it's just weird that there he is explaining where he's going to find the money, and Starmer and Badenoch and the entire Westminster body politic who aren't in reform are just acting like he didn't say that because they cannot face confronting the horror of the waste they inflict on this benighted nation.
Well, I mean, there are a couple of things here, aren't there? There's the financial aspect, but there's also all of the content, the philosophical aspect, if you like. So net zero is absolutely at the heart of who they are. DEI is absolutely at the heart of who they are. It's what they think. It's their set of values. So if they throw all of that away, they are left with nothing. They don't even have an identity. And they have to admit that their whole worldview is upside down. OK, this is just one massive big waste. So no matter how many times he tells them it's wrong, it's rubbish, it's a waste of money, they're just not going to believe it.
They can't. Yeah, because that is like fundamentally dismantling them. Yeah, everything they stand for goes by the by.
They just fall apart, you know. And it's this thing, isn't it? It's what Cummings said before. I keep coming back to this. It's living via narratives and beliefs rather than by facts and figures.
And these idiots, do you remember Labour's election campaign pledge, a greener, fairer future, as if that, what they don't realise, they go around, they do focus groups, they do surveys, they do polls, and, people, they go around saying, to people in the public, say, on balance, would you like to save the planet, or would you prefer it if the planet got destroyed? Yeah. And they go, oh, I'd like to save the planet. And these idiot politicians go, well, this is very important to people. They want to save the planet. We must base our policies on this. Yeah. Well, you then go back to those same people and you say, would you like to save the planet on the basis that we have the highest energy bills in the entire world, which indeed we do, that we have energy bills that are 5 times higher than America? Everybody will go, nah, not really. You can forget the planet. Can I have cheaper bills, please?
Absolutely.
We live in the real world. These people don't. We'll finish on this. It's amusing. So I told you earlier that even the Guardian's rounding on old robot Starmer. This is a very brief clip. This is a question from a Guardian journalist after that tedious speech by the Prime Minister. Watch this.
And on the wider issue of the opposition you're now facing, do you think one of the problems is that Nigel Farage can approximate talking like a human being, where you just resort to talking points and dodging questions?
He also made the point, someone else also said, so it was all about, loads of the journalists were giving him a hard time after his stirring speech. This is Liz Truss all over again. Journalists go, oh, yeah. They then said to him, one journalist said, Nigel Farage, public school educated, former city trader boy, posh as they come. How is it that, and you, working class son of a tool maker and an NHS nurse, how is it that this posh boy can talk to ordinary people and you can't? As that guy from The Guardian said, he can't speak human, and of course he was completely flummoxed by this.
Well, you could almost see him malfunctioning there, couldn't you? It was like
sparks.
What do I do?
Starmer bot malfunction.
But that is a serious. A Guardian journalist is essentially saying you are not fit for the job. You are the Labour Prime Minister. You are not fit for the job. Actually, Nigel Farage, as far as we're concerned, the wickedest man ever to walk the earth. He is better than you. My God.